Let's talk about Angular routing. So first and foremost, you need to generate a routing file, separate routing module. It is not necessary. If you want to include routing in the module, then you can also do so. As you know that main.ts is the main file and main.ts file which will be load, and this is here the module will be decided which module will bootstrap. So as you can see that app module will bootstrap first. So let's go to the app module. So if you go in the app section, then you will find app module, and here you will notice that here app component is bootstrapping, because one module and one component is necessary in the Angular application and it should be there. And here if you want to include a routing, then you can write a routing codes and all this stuff, but better approach is to include a routing module. So create a separate file for a routing, and just here in the import section, in the import array, in the app.module, you just need to import that module, means routing module. Okay, so you can see here that app routing module we have generated, means we have done certain thing here. So let's go to the documentation and see some of the steps. So as you can see that you can create a routing, means you can generate a skeleton of the routing where some of the thing which will be imported already, and it will be there like app routing module, it will be already be generated, so you no need to do, and this is the best practice also. Otherwise manually if you want to create, then you can create in this way, where Angular router, from the Angular router you need to include a route and then router module. Okay, so here you can see that ng module decorator are used, and in the ng module one import are there, import array are there, and the export array are there. In the import, basically route from the router module, we are calling the for route and providing this routing array, and basically this routing array is this type of routing. Whatever routing you want to specify, we can specify here. Okay, you will also notice that here the path redirect to, path match, and all these things and their value, what their value should be, these things actually you can get from the documentation. Like, so path, it means that whatever path you want to navigate, means if user will navigate that path, then what should be happen. So you need to specify that you want, if you want to load any component, then you can define a component. Otherwise if you want to include a lazy loading, so load children, here you can see, or here it is a auth module, means another, you are referring to another module, and whatever module will decide that will be happen. So you are specifying these things, and basically all this detail you can find easily from the documentation. So just go there and try to check what you want to implement accordingly. You can see here that path, and what do you mean by path, whatever what this will do, if whatever you will provide, then you can file from here. You can see here, you can see that component, whatever component you decide, that particular component will load. And if you want to load their children, means so you can see here that childrens are there, which is their path will be like that. If the children path will be this one, means children route path, then that component will load like that. Famous and important is some of the parameter like path, redirect, path match, children's, load children, like that. After creating these things, you need to export it, and in the app module you need to import it in the import section. So first step is to create a routing module and then import it here in the module, whatever module you are using. So in my case it is the app module. And then in the HTML you need to specify the router outlet. So whenever you will provide the router outlet, so after the navigation, means if someone will navigate the URL, so according to your routing setting, that will be changed. Means suppose that here app routing.ts, app routing.module.ts, here you can see that if you will provide admin, then load children, this is referring to another module which is auth module, so or it will refer auth module, and auth module whatever will render, that will be basically render here. If you will go to the index dot here, it means other part will be constant, only these things will be changed, these things will be replaced according to the logic and whatever the module is returning. Okay, so this is known as lazy loading actually, because we are loading the module based on the navigation or route. So based on the route, whenever if requirement is there, if someone navigate to the admin, then this module will call, which is the auth module. So let's go ahead in the auth module and check their setting. So in the auth module, the similar thing is happening whatever you are doing in the app module.ts. Okay, so here basically auth module sign up, auth component, sign up component and login component is utilizing. Okay, and here you will also notice that auth routing module means another module, routing module is imported here at the import section. So here again you need to create one file either manually or through command. Just create it, and here you need to specify which component should be loaded if someone will navigate the route. So here if path will be null, it means after the admin, means as you can see here that this is the admin. So after admin, if nothing will be there, then this will load the auth component. So let's go to the auth component and check it. So you can see here that in the auth component you will find that this basically row and column, and basically this is the bootstrap related classes are used here, you can see. And within that, within this div tag where the call sm6, we are providing router outlet. It means whenever we will navigate the route, then these things will be replaced with the component and whatever functionality you want to render. So on this will be replaced with our HTML or HTML render. Okay, our rest of the thing will be static on the page. So it is very important. So here you can also notice that auth component will load, and within the auth component the children will load within this router outlet, means within this division. Means you can say that this will be replaced with the component, whatever component it returned. If you go to the auth module.ts, you can see here that we are including, it is very important. Then this is the second step, and third step is to provide here router outlet. So accordingly it will happen, the children will be loaded there. And here you will notice that again we can use a path if you want, otherwise you can just keep it blank, or any component if you want to include, like sign up component in this case. So you can include it. It means sign up component will render here, okay, as a children. So let's go to the sign up component and check the HTML. It means this HTML page will be rendered and their logic is available in the TS file. So as you can see that, so actually this is a component, as you know that we are using here the component decorator. It means this decorator will tell Angular about this component, what this component will do, means it will render the thing. All this information and their metadata will be available to this component, and accordingly this will be rendered on the DOM. This will be rendered on the DOM, and since here we are providing here the children, so as a children it will be rendered here. And since these things are coming from the another component, another routing here, which is basically when someone will put the admin, and bootstrap component is the app component, so this will be rendered. If you will run the command ngserve and you will check on the browser, then you will find sign up component along with this HTML code. So let's start the server. So I started the server through the ngserve, and let's go to the URL browser, and now I am going to inspect and see the result. Here you can see that container fluid is coming from the app component.ts, app component.html. Okay, so app component is here. You can see that here it is written container fluid class, and after that a router outlet. So in the browser you can see that router outlet is available, and then here you can see that app auth, means auth component. So let's go to the auth component. So here in the auth component, all these things are coming, and then within this calls SM6 you will find the router outlet. So let's check again. So you can see here that all the div and call SM3, call SM6. After that, within this call SM3 you will find router outlet again. So you can see one router outlet for the app component dot HTML, and another component come from the auth component dot HTML. So basically one important here is that the can activate, we can include a can activate for the authentication system. So we will include all these things later on, and where you will understand, but for now it is a basic, and it's very important to understand these things before moving forward. So I hope you understand. If you will face any problem, then definitely let us know.